Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, it is time again for one of my conspiracy theory videos where we get all kinds of creepy. Today we're going to be talking about movie conspiracies! Now I'm going to warn you, there's a couple today that are really scary, and there's also one that I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to talk about because it involves actual death, so buckle up! Conspiracy theory number 1. In the movie 3 Men and a Baby, there's a scene where there seems to be a little ghost boy in the background, and nobody knows where he came from. Now I'm going to show you the clip, and I'm going to let you decide if you see it.
Look at the way she's looking at me. For a moment there, I had her laughing.
Didn't catch it? Let's slow it down. Okay, now listen. I don't know about you, but that shit makes my whole butt go. That's the scariest shit in the world. Can you imagine, like, you're directing a movie and you're like, alright, great guys, we got it. And then you go into the editing bay and you're like, alright, pull up that stupid ass scene with that old bitch and that one guy and that baby. And then boom! Grudge. I wouldn't sleep for weeks. So the story goes that supposedly a little boy died in the apartment that they were shooting in. Now, supposedly one of the producers of the movie made up a story being like, oh no, we didn't actually shoot it in a real apartment, it was a soundstage. Like, no, there was no ghost. But a lot of the cast was like, no, we shot this in an apartment. And we felt the fucking presence, bitch. So I don't know if they're trying to cover their ass or what, but that little ghost stuck in an 80s movie. God, that's depressing. Now this next one is kind of fun, but also creeped me out a little bit. And it is that Toy Story is literally the same as The Walking Dead. Or I guess because Toy Story came first, The Walking Dead would be the same. I'm confused. Here's how it goes. Now listen, there's a lot of evidence to this, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'll give you the highlights. Both of them have the hero, which is the sheriff. Both of them have a group of misfits. The sheriffs both have a child that they love more than anything. The sheriff's best friend is a super manly officer of the law. Then, the kid grows fond of the hero's best friend. The hero gets mad, they have a big fight, and eventually, the best friend is killed. Both have an annoying-ass cowgirl, an annoying-ass old man with walking sticks, and an annoying-ass gated community where people are perfect and annoying as fuck. The communities also both have a really nice, pleasant guy that's in charge who turns out to be evil. Now listen, there's a whole lot of other evidence I can go into, but I'm not going to, because I think I've proved the point. And the point is, I don't care. But it is creepy to think about. Speaking of thinking about things, I think about suicide a lot. Well, in the classic movie, The Wizard of Oz, people thought that there was a munchkin that actually killed themselves while they were filming. Chill. I'm going to show you this video, and you tell me if you see it. Didn't catch it? Notice in the background, you'll see something swinging back and forth as if it's being hung by a rope. Now listen, I have done a lot of research about this. A lot of people say that it's just a light swinging in the background that like fell off of something, I don't know. But a lot of people do believe that it was one of the little actors who really hated being on that movie set. Probably because they gave him a lollipop and said, "Dance, midget, dance!" Which, you know, can't be fun. This next conspiracy will make you rethink your entire childhood. So the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is one of my favorites, mainly because it involved candy and death. Now I know what you're thinking, Shane, nobody died in that movie. Yes they did, and that's what this conspiracy is about. So here's how it goes. People think that the secret ingredient in Wonka bars are actually spoiled little children. I can confirm that that's true, because I had tasted a spoiled child before and delicious. Now, I don't know if you remember, but in each scene of the movie, one of the kids and parents ends up disappearing. And they're like, oh yeah, no, they're fine, they're somewhere else. We never see them at the end. Now think about this. After Augustus and his mom were dismissed, the next part of the movie, they go in that little boat, and there was just enough seats for the people that were left. Wouldn't there have been 2 empty seats? Unless Willy Wonka knew that 2 of them were gonna die. Also, just look at the Oompa Loompas. Those are little motherfucking killers if I've ever seen them. You trust that? Also, look at Willy Wonka. Who the fuck would trust that guy? He looks like a janitor in a prison. Actually, I would trust him. I have a lot of issues. Now, this last conspiracy theory isn't really about a movie, but it's something I found today, and I was so disturbed by it that I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna throw it in. Now, this is one about Michael Jackson. Now listen, I love Michael Jackson, I think he's a genius. Do I think he had a lot of problems? Fuck yeah. But he's dead, so I don't want to judge him and be an asshole, so let's just let him rest in peace. Let's also talk about this conspiracy, because it's pretty interesting. Now there's a theory that Michael Jackson was on some pretty strong acne medication when he was 12 years old, and it had a side effect that stunted his puberty and his growth, which would explain why his voice is so high. There's a pretty big French doctor who wrote an entire book about this because he really believes it was true. And listen, I'm gonna be honest, I believe it too, because there's a lot of acne medications that really fuck fuck with people's minds and their fucking chemistry and all that shit. I mean, Accutane makes you suicidal, so why wouldn't an acne medication stunt your sexual growth? Makes sense. There's also a theory that Michael Jackson is still alive. And there was a picture taken right here. Somebody thought it was him. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that's an old lady or Bruce Jenner. Either way, I'd like to believe it. Well, there you guys go. Those are all my conspiracy theories for today. Leave me a comment down below telling me which ones you believe in and which ones you think are